A few questions. Are you aware of the potential human cost of producing some of the household name products you buy? What's in Head & Shoulders shampoo that could support forced or child labour? What's in pot noodles or Knorr stock cubes that may require employees to do backbreaking work for unacceptably long hours?
Mau 1 minggu itu kerja terus. Di hari libur itu kan dipaksakan kerja.
But what's in a Magnum ice cream that can result in women being exposed to highly toxic chemicals without adequate protection?
Aku nggak sanggup menyemprot. Kenapa? Pening aku. Nggak tahan aku sama bau racun itu.
The answer? One ingredient. One that's in more than 50% of supermarket products. Palm oil. Apart from the items already mentioned, it can be found in toothpaste, biscuits, washing up liquids, chocolate, body cream, and many more. For the past year, Amnesty International has been investigating one of the largest producers of palm oil in the world, Wilmar, based in Singapore, and the working practices on some of its Indonesian plantations and those of its suppliers, which are amongst the biggest on earth.
We knew that there were concerns, but the fact that these abuses are so prevalent in a sector that has come under so much scrutiny and where there has been so much fanfare with some of the largest companies in the world promising consumers that they're delivering sustainable palm oil, that they're ensuring there's no exploitation in the palm oil that ends up in the products that you and I are using on an everyday basis, I was frankly shocked at that.
Palm oil is derived from the reddish pulp of the fruit of oil palms. It's a high-yielding crop, relatively cheap to cultivate, and the growing demand for it has led to the destruction of the rainforests and considerable harm to wildlife. But it's a big business, employing around 3 million people in Indonesia alone. And many of them suffer appalling exploitation. Let's start with the targets set for a harvester. They sometimes work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, often for below the legal minimum wage, and get just $6 a day.
You have to work a certain number of hours, but you also have to meet these targets. And the targets are mostly based around the amount of fruit that you need to collect and the amount of area that you need to cover. So if you're a harvester, you may need to collect almost 1 ton of fresh fruit bunches in the day. But you have to understand that each palm oil fruit can weigh up between 20 to 25 kilos. And it's really hard work.
If you don't meet the targets, you're penalised, having your wages deducted or worse.
Ya kalau kita nggak memenuhi target yang mereka instruksikan itu, kalau 1-2 kali bisalah dikatakan itu dimaafkan orang itu. Cuman kalau sampai seterus-terusnya seperti itu akan diberikan sanksi kepada kita.
Selama 3 hari tetap nggak dapat, merepet di skor. Di skor nggak boleh kerja. Kadang selama 1 minggu.
Kami paksa biar kami penuhi target yang diberikan perusahaan. Kadang kami bawa istri kami dan anak-anak kami yang berumur 8 tahun, 10 tahun, dan 12 tahun.
And Adi isn't the only harvester who's forced into getting his wife and children to help him meet his targets. Amnesty International interviewed 5 children who labour in the plantations, helping their parents, some as young as 8.
Tiap hari bantu ayah ya?
Iya. Diancak nanti tunggu pulang sekolah, tak berondolan.
These children carry gunny sacks of loose fruits and struggle transporting wheelbarrows full of bunches over uneven ground and across narrow bridges to collection points.
Itu sudah aku stop karena saya tidak mampu lagi bekerja karena biar ada untuk yang membantu saya untuk bekerja, kernet.
And even in low season, when there's fewer fruit to harvest, the targets inexplicably remain the same.
That means the company has then shifted the burden of weather conditions or the yield of the tree onto the worker. To collect the same amount of fruit, the worker may have to work 12 to 14 hours a day. So instead of being paid overtime pay for working much longer hours than they should be, the company is just making them work for pitiful sums of money to collect the fruit that the company needs.
Amnesty also found the subtle ways some companies force people to work against their will.
The companies can use a lot of threats to make them work. If you haven't been able to meet your target, even after working 8 to 10 hours or 12 hours, the foreman will say to you, if you don't carry on working, you lose your job.
And some of the worst labour abuses are visited upon women. They're all classed as casuals, and they aren't entitled to any job security, health insurance or pensions, irrespective of their length of service, which sometimes could have been for decades.
Kami semalam itu cerita di sana nggak ada mau diangkat perempuan di sana karyawan, cuma laki-laki aja orang manen. Iya, karena kadang-kadang katanya perempuan itu kadang hamil berhenti bekerja, gitu. Jadi suka-suka kayak suka-suka kita lah kerja keluar masuk gitu.
Women workers are mainly responsible for looking after the palm oil plants. That involves preparing and fertilizing the soil for cultivation, and also one of the most dangerous jobs on a plantation: the spraying of pesticides. The discrimination against women is extraordinary. If they've sprayed plants in the morning and it then rains, washing away the chemicals, they only get paid a fraction of their wages or nothing at all. That's because it's deemed that they haven't met their spraying target. And it's hazardous. They spray paraquat, a chemical so toxic its use has been banned in Europe, and they do it often without adequate protective equipment. Many women report being affected by chemicals.
Di sini banyak batuk-batuk, ada yang busuk-busuk kukunya, gatal-gatal. Kurasa efek dari racun itulah.
Most Wilmar subsidiaries and suppliers test the blood of employees for exposure to chemicals, but the results are not shared with the workers. Those showing abnormalities are simply moved to other tasks without ever knowing what's wrong with their health.
Enggak pernah, cuma tapi waktu nipro kami datarlah dokter ke sana kan, diperiksa darah kami, diambil darah, itu aja. Makanya dikeluar ke kami semalam itu udah diambil darah kami kan, katanya udah kena racun, itu aja. Enggak dikasih obat pun, itulah.
Given the hard labour involved, women, like Adi's wife, also suffer other physical injuries, but get little medical help.
Ya, sampai sekarang sudah ada bukti rentak. Nah, tapi sampai saat ini perusahaan setempat diobati nggak diobati, makanya sekarang takut aku membawa ke rumah sakit karena dibebankan lagi biaya perobatan. Istri saya tidak lagi diterima untuk bekerja.
So, where do the fruits of their labour go? Trying to find out what household products contain Wilmar's palm oil is exceptionally difficult. But we followed the supply chain, from the plantation to the mills, the refineries, and eventually to the producers. And there's an organisation that's supposed to monitor the industry, the Round Table for Sustainable Palm Oil.
The Round Table has criteria for what it says is sustainable palm oil that's produced without exploiting workers, without deforestation, and without environmental harm. And this product is, if it meets the criteria, the palm oil, it is then marketed. So large consumer goods companies put on their products that the palm oil that was used in the bread or the detergent you're buying is sustainable palm oil. We're saying that the palm oil that is being marketed as sustainable is absolutely not.
The companies that confirmed to Amnesty that they use palm oil from Wilmar's Indonesian refineries include Unilever, Nestle, Kellogg's, and Procter & Gamble. And they don't appear to be doing the checks to make sure that the palm oil they use has been produced free from human rights abuses. In a letter, Wilmar told us that they were already aware of some of the issues regarding employees' exploitation we'd raised with them, and they'd already started their own
internal procedure to resolve them.
They added that these were
symptomatic challenges shared by the industry,
and they were committed to addressing them while
welcoming suggestions or solutions from Amnesty.
Kellogg said the only Wilmar palm oil they use goes to China. Nestlé say their suppliers have to meet
our Code on Human Rights, Safety and Environmental Sustainability and Business Integrity.
They're currently gathering information on human rights issues, and
we put more emphasis on these concerns as part of our assessment protocols.
Unilever said that with interested parties,
we are addressing working conditions and bringing about long-term solutions to ensure workers' rights are respected.
Procter & Gamble say they have a policy on no child labour and no forced labour, to which their suppliers need to comply. Wilmar have never shared information on labour rights with them. In a phone conversation, a spokesman for the company said they will
now go back to Wilmar to ask them about these issues, ask them what they found and what they're going to do about it. We'll ask them to share their findings and encourage them to share it with Amnesty International.
So, what can we do?
So what we are saying to you as a consumer is, we're not asking you to boycott palm oil. We don't think that would be helpful, but we think it's time to make all these companies accountable. They're promising you that the palm oil you're getting is sustainable. It's time that they actually made it sustainable. And these issues are issues that are easy to fix.